Hello everyone, I have a fun video planned for you here in which I'm going to talk about some Ring of Honor and some Lucha Underground. Season 4 just debuted this week and I've got a lot to say about it, so really excited to talk about both of those things. But before I get into any of that, a couple of video updates for some of the stuff that's upcoming. I didn't have any videos for this week because last week's video that I did was so massive that it covered a lot of things. It covered the Money in the Bank preview and NXT TakeOver that it was kind of like, I kind of left myself dry for videos this week, so I just didn't have any material. Unfortunately, I will not be able to do a live stream this weekend. I'm going to be really, really busy. I'm driving up to Frederick to go spend time with some friends. One of their kids is being baptized, and I've been invited to that. So, you know, us Catholics, we gotta honor the holy sacraments. So that's going to take up most of my Saturday, and on Sunday it's Father's Day. I'm going to be spending time with the family. So I'm probably not going to be able to see Money in the Bank live. I'll probably be home back in time to watch TakeOver, but we'll see. I'm kind of playing it by ear, but I will definitely not have time to do my Saturday night's main event / Clash of Champions live stream. I said when I started the series that life is probably going to get in the way. I'm probably not going to be able to do it every week. This is going to be one of those instances. There's actually going to be another weekend in August where I'm going to be going to Atlantic City for a bachelor party, so that's going to be great. But I won't be able to do a live stream that weekend either. So, but yeah, I made it 15 weeks in a row. I thought I did pretty well, you know, kept it fairly regular. But the live streams will resume next week, I promise. Just that this weekend, too much time taken up with too many different things. I just didn't have time to set aside 4 hours to live stream me watching 30-year-old wrestling shows. So them's the breaks. I'm sorry for those of you, my regulars, who enjoy the live streams, but not going to be happening this weekend. But they will start up again next weekend. You have my word on it. So all of that said, I've already previewed Money in the Bank. I've already previewed NXT TakeOver. And if you didn't see those previews, I'll leave a link in the description to the video where I did talk about those things. But now I want to talk about my reaction to Lucha Underground Season 4 and the debut, and Ring of Honor, specifically Best in the World, which is coming up on June 29th. I guess I'll start with Ring of Honor because there's some cool stuff to talk about there. So Ring of Honor is going to be running shows out of Madison Square Garden. That's pretty awesome. Good for them. I think that's great. You know, I hope they sell it out, man. That's just very exciting and very cool. You know, you look at all the things that are going on in independent wrestling now, and, you know, companies outside of the WWE, what New Japan is doing to break into the U.S. market, and what, I mean, right now, today, in 2018, there are more American fans watching New Japan than ever before on a regular basis. And part of that's because the star power they push. Part of that is New Japan World having, you know, us having access to that. Part of it is having English commentary. Part of it is running shows in America. They're breaking into the market and doing so very successfully. And they just keep getting having a slightly bigger presence with each step they take. You've got Cody and the Bucks running the All In show, which is great. I hope to God we get a stream of that because I really want to watch that show. And you've got Ring of Honor, who's doing very well for themselves on the live event scene. And, you know, I mean, they're coming off a WrestleMania weekend where they drew their biggest crowd ever, and now they're going to be running shows out of Madison Square Garden. I think that's pretty awesome. Good for them. I applaud them. I'm sure Vince McMahon's ready to have a fucking panic attack / coronary / stroke / go into cardiac arrest and everything in between. I'm sure he's not happy at all with this, but I'm always happy to see independent wrestling and companies outside of the WWE succeed and do well and grow and improve the business, because that's the whole thing. And you look at things like what Chris Jericho's doing with New Japan, what Cody's doing, and what Rey Mysterio's doing, and all the cross-promoting that they get to do. It's a very exciting time to be a wrestling fan, specifically of companies outside of the WWE. And Triple H recently made a comment where he said WWE's open to having cross-promotional relationship with New Japan and companies like that. So who knows? Maybe this could lead to something beneficial for all parties involved. But yeah, I'm really happy for Ring of Honor. I hope they do well. I hope the MSG experiment is a success and they just continue to grow and get bigger from there. But the real thing I wanted to talk about with Ring of Honor is their Best in the World show. Like I said, it's happening on June 29th. It's going to be happening in Baltimore, Maryland at the UMBC Event Center. I just bought my tickets. I'm going to a Ring of Honor show. This will be my second Ring of Honor pay-per-view. And I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm going to have a really good time there. It's going to be great. I've got some of my friends are going with me, and I think we're going to have a ball. I pretty much decided that as long as the card was okay, I was going to get tickets to it because I just kind of like want to get that Ring of Honor experience again. Because the last time I went to a Ring of Honor show, the crowd was amazing and it was great, and I'd love to go again. And so I figured as long as the card is okay, I'll buy a ticket. I think the card's pretty damn good when you look at it. We're getting Jay Lethal versus Kushida. We're getting Punishment Martinez versus Hangman Page. We're getting a women's six-woman tag, sorry. We're getting the Bucks versus the Briscoes for the ROH tag titles. We're getting the Kingdom versus LIJ for the Ring of Honor 6-person tag titles. We're getting the main event, which is what I'm looking forward to. We're getting Cody Rhodes and Marty Scurll challenging Dalton Castle for the Ring of Honor World title in a triple threat match, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm hoping we get a title change, because I would love to be there to see Cody Rhodes win the ROH title, or even Marty Scurll. I'll take it. But it's, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be a pretty good show, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I've got a couple more weeks until that big event. But yeah, just that's really my preview of it. I just think it's a very exciting situation. I'm hoping for a title change in the main event. That's the big thing I want. But you look at Jay Lethal versus Kushida, that's probably going to be the opening match. It's going to be really, really good, most likely. I think the Bucks and the Briscoes has potential to be a wild and insane tag match. And I get to see the Bucks in person, which is going to be a wonderful experience, because they bring so much excitement and so much energy to everything that they do. So getting to see them live in person is going to be great. So I'm just looking forward to having a ball. I think it's going to be a blast. I think it's going to be very exciting. And here's hoping that I have a really good time. And if you're there too and you see me there, just say hi. You know, I'll be there with my friends too. So it'll be fun for everybody. We're all going to have a blast. Now let's get into Lucha Underground, which, like I said, Season 4 debuted on Wednesday of this week. And I am so happy to have Lucha Underground back. From the opening scene, it's like, oh, it's back. It's that grindhousey, you know, campy, like, ridiculousness that Lucha Underground is known for. To get that back again and their commitment to it was very good to see. Now, right off the bat, we're getting a major change where Dario Cueto is dead, playing off the gunshot that he suffered at the end of Season 3. And his father, who ordered the hit on him, is now taken over as the owner and promoter of Lucha Underground, and he's running out of a new temple and a new setting, and we're going to be playing by Antonio Cueto's rules. Now, Antonio Cueto is played by the exact same actor that plays Dario Cueto. And on paper, that sounds extremely stupid. Some people don't like it. Personally, after listening to him talk for a few minutes, I'm like, I kind of like it. It's silly. I admit it's totally silly, but I'm kind of digging it, because Antonio's like a completely different character from Dario, and he's more of like this harsh, grumpy old geezer type that, you know, wants violence and is just kind of a, you know, looks like a broken old man. He's got a dead eye and long hair and everything. He looks great. So yeah, like I said, on paper it sounds ridiculous, but when I see it in action, I kind of enjoy it. So it's one of those things that works surprisingly well for me. And once we get all that established, like I said, we get the new, we're in a new temple, new setting, new lighting, new colored ropes. So it looks different right off the bat. And we kick things off with, quite surprisingly, with Aztec Warfare 4, which was very surprising, because typically Aztec Warfare is not a kickoff point. It's a kind of a mid-season point where they build to that, And then once they build to that, then they build to Ultima Lucha. And that's kind of like every season has kind of been set up that way. And now we're just kicking off with Aztec Warfare, and God only knows what happens from here. But the problem with starting off with Aztec Warfare, it kind of was almost designed to be the weakest Aztec Warfare match right off the bat, because, like I said, typically they build up to Aztec Warfare and you get those individual storylines sprinkled throughout. Here it kind of felt like a cast reunion where they were like, oh, hey, this guy's back, and we got this person back, and we got this person back, and we got this person back. And there's not a whole lot of story yet, so we're just still trying to like figure things out. So guys would just come in, hit their spots, and they get eliminated. Some of them were eliminated very quickly. Mil Muertes lasted about a minute, and which is not nearly long enough for Mil Muertes, especially since Katrina was out there with him, and especially since Katrina was smoking hot as usual. That outfit she was wearing was insane. But it was fun for what it was, and I did enjoy it. Pentagon being allowed to be like a dominant champion that goes through pretty much everybody and broke a couple arms along the way and survived all the way to the end, last eliminating Marty the Moth Martinez, who looks like he's in great shape, by the way. Marty really looks like he trimmed down for season 4. He's got his hair back, too. And Pentagon retained. First ever champion to retain in Aztec Warfare. So really, as far as telling the story of setting up Pentagon as the dominant champion of Lucha Underground, I thought it told that story effectively. I just think compared to the other Aztec Warfares, it's not as good. But I'm interested in seeing what happens next week, because next week Pentagon's going to be defending the title against Matanza, who was not present during Aztec Warfare. So, but yeah, so we got that to look forward to, and hopefully we get a few other things to look forward to. But I think the main thing to take away from the show is that there was a lot of changes. Like I said, new temple, new owner, new lighting, new ropes. We still got Melissa Santos, which is always great to hear her voice as an announcer. Right off the bat, as Aztec Warfare was starting, we find out that Dante Fox is not around anymore, so we lose that Trios champion story with Dante and Killshot possibly having to bury the hatchet and find a way to coexist as Trios champions. Instead, the Mac and Killshot still hold their belts, and the third belt was given to a previous Trios champion, probably the most famous Trios champion in Lucha Underground, Son of Havoc. So now we've got Son of Havoc, the Mac, and Killshot as the Trios champions. Disappointed to lose Dante Fox. I thought his storyline and feud with Killshot was amazing, and that match they had at the end of Season 3 was one of the best matches in Lucha Underground history. Violent as hell. It was one of those matches that was surprisingly uncomfortable to watch at times, but I would have liked to have seen that story continue to maybe build to a reconciliation between the two, or maybe set up a rematch at some point. Who knows? But I think Son of Havoc, giving him something to do is always a good thing, because he's just one of those like lovable underdog baby faces that Lucha Underground has, so it's good to see him. I marked out for seeing Phoenix, who looked great in this. I marked out for who else came back? They got a lot of guys back. King Cuerno came back, and he looks great. Mil Muertes came back. Like I said, a pop for him, even though he wasn't there long. Johnny Mundo was there. Ricky Mundo came back, but now he's parading around with this creepy baby doll, so I want to see what happens there, because that's going to be, if they're going creepy with him, that's going to be a completely different character shift from what he was doing initially, which was Johnny Mundo imitator. But again, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. And a couple of guys returned. Hernandez making his first appearance in Season 1. Chavo Guerrero came back and looked surprisingly dominant at there, so I'm assuming he's going to be around for a lot of Season 4. Again, we'll see. I don't object to it. I like Chavo, so it's good to have him around. Trying to think who else showed up in this. Joey Ryan came back, which is great to see Joey Ryan. Love him. I hope Cortez Castro comes back, because he was one of my favorite characters, and I loved his story arc. If you look at him from Season 1 as part of the crew, and then the more we found out about him, the more interesting he became. And so I hope he's still around. But got a couple surprises in there. There was Tommy Dreamer came back and brawled with Pentagon. They had some nice thumbtack spots over in the bleachers, which was interesting and a little different from what we normally get out of the hardcore kind of garbage stuff. So overall, I thought it was a pretty entertaining match. Thought it was a pretty entertaining show. It was great to have Lucha Underground back, and the whole presentation and everything just felt like it fit like a snug glove, I guess, or fit like a perfect glove, or whatever metaphor I'm going for. It doesn't matter. And I really enjoyed the show. Like I said, it's the weakest Aztec Warfare to date, but as a kickoff to Season 4, I thought the episode worked, and hopefully things just keep growing and getting better from there. Oh, who else came back? The Reptile Tribe. They're back in the temple as well. Cobra Moon looking... I never looked at her as one of the hotter women in Lucha Underground. She's looking sexy as fuck, man. She's looking great. I was like, damn, look at her. And Vibora, who wasn't an official entrant in the match, came out and made his presence known. I need more of that guy in my life because I love the look of the mask. I love the way he looks. I love how much bigger he is than everybody. Like Vibora, like they chant Luchasaurus at him. I'm like, yeah, he's the Luchasaurus, man. He's great. Just keep pushing that guy. I really like what I see in him. But yeah, just overall very entertaining episode. I was glad Pentagon retained, and like I said, hopefully they've got some storylines lined up and everything just continues to grow, develop, and evolve from there. So those are my thoughts on the season premiere of Lucha Underground. It's so great having it back. It's just another option for professional wrestling to watch again. I've heard that the ratings that they got were higher than normal, and it was actually one of their highest rated episodes, which is awesome because they were on hiatus for so long. I didn't know how that was going to affect them, and they come back with one of their highest rated episodes, which is good. I mean, I know not a lot of people get the El Rey network, but you know, you'll want to see the trend go up, not down. So that's good to see. But yeah, those are my thoughts, and I look forward to seeing more from Season 4. Let's keep going. Let's keep the fun times going. I'm always down for some more Lucha Underground. So that is all I have for this video. I'm pretty much all wrapped up here. Just wanted to come in here and just put over Ring of Honor and Lucha Underground as hard as I can. Supporters of both brands for different reasons, but I love the art form of professional wrestling. I love different expressions of that art form, and I think Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, to use a WWE example, NXT, New Japan, and the occasional indie that I check out once in a while. And then on the network, I'm watching all the old stuff like, you know, Clash of Champions and Saturday Night's Main Event. Between all of that, I'm pretty much getting a pretty good wrestling fix. I don't need Raw or SmackDown. I really don't. And it's not even like a fuck WWE thing, because it's like, look, I'm watching the network, I'm watching NXT. They're producing things that I enjoy, and they make all the old stuff available to me, so I watch that. It's like, okay, it's just that I don't need Raw or SmackDown, and I don't need their goddamn 4-hour pay-per-views either. I just don't. I don't need that in my life. When I have so many other options. I've got Lucha, I've got NXT, I've got Ring of Honor, I've got New Japan. I've got all these different ways to watch the art form of professional wrestling. And that's why, and again, I'm not saying this as an anti-WWE guy. I put over NXT, I put over the network. Clearly, I'm not trying to be an anti-WWE guy, but it's, you know, if you're unhappy with Raw or SmackDown, there are other options out there. You don't have to feel handcuffed to it. And here we go again. It's the week before Money in the Bank. I still have not watched Raw or SmackDown, and I really don't feel like I'm missing much. I'll check out the results, and I'll be like, I'm good. There's just nothing there that's grabbing me. I'm looking at the card for Money in the Bank, and okay, I'm interested to see who wins the briefcases. But other than that, the only match I really care about in any way, shape, or form is Rollins and Elias. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting pairing. That seems interesting, and I like both guys, so okay. But other than that, I really don't care. And that falls on poor presentation, that falls on poor writing, poor booking, and oversaturation in a lot of cases, because their shows are just too goddamn long. And that's why I'm put off by them extending their pay-per-views by an hour. It's like, why would you do that, you horrible monsters? But in any case, that is all I have for you now. You all enjoy your weekend. Hopefully, all you dads out there have a great Father's Day, and everybody else, be kind to your dads. Show them a good time. But that is all I have for you here. Again, I'm sorry for no live stream this weekend, but like I said, life kind of got in the way. But that is all I have for you now. So, you know, happy weekend, everybody, and I'll see you all later.